Yeah, I know, I'm back. I know, last week was weird. But at the very least, this week we're up to Spyro 3, which is, well, at the very least it's better than 2, which I know I've said before is a controversial statement, but it's also the truth. As far as 3 compares to 1, I could go either way really. But you might see why as soon as we begin. Well, I can't tell. I don't know if you can tell, but an evil plot unfolds. Jeez, you'd think species that would be able to build all this would also have invented beds. And you'd think those guys wouldn't wear full bronze armor if they were going on a stealth mission.
Get her! Stop her!
We managed to capture the eggs, Your Highness. Every last one.
Excellent. Maybe you will amount to something after all. Now go guard the tunnels. Stop anyone from coming through.
What? Mosaic windows like that are not made to open.
Where are the eggs?
The holes came out on the other side of the dragon worlds. We found some of the eggs, but they were too heavy to carry back.
The other side of the world?
The Forgotten Realms. Spyro, you'll have to go. Nobody else can fit down the holes.
Yeah, come on, let's go!
Find the eggs and bring them back, Spyro. You're our only chance.
You got it!
Yes. The only chance. The thing that makes him so special? Being so small. That's always a quality I look for in my heroes. Convenient sizing. Now, this is one thing that you'll notice is, particularly given the Reignited trilogy that we're playing. Excuse me. But they had a vision that they succeeded in pulling off in the first game of the Reignited trilogy, of giving every... hold on.
In charge of rescuing the eggs, huh? How sad. Look here, Dragon. If you know what's good for you, you'll turn around and crawl back into that hole you came through. Those eggs belong to us now, and I've hidden them in places you'll never find in 1,000 years. Besides, even if you could find any eggs, our expertly
I just
trained
found one
guards
out in
will
the
hunt you
open.
down and take them back. Do I make myself clear? If I find you here again, I am going to be very angry, and you won't like me when I'm angry.
But
Hi, Spyro. To
Hold on.
look left or right, use the right stick.
yes. But what was I saying? Oh yes, in the first game they gave every dragon that you save a unique design, a unique model, an animation and whatnot. And there was a plan to do the same thing in this game with the dragon eggs, but they ran out of time.
Spyro!
So there's
Oh,
about
my, how funny to see you here. Why, I haven't
a
seen
dozen
you
or
since
less.
we defeated Ripto in Avalar. Well, my business went into a slump after you left, so I came here and struck up a nice deal with the local sorceress. Lovely woman she is. Seems to be very fond of dragons, too.
You don't say. Your business went into a slump when one basically tourist who, you know, by definition wasn't going to stick around was your entire source of revenue. Do you even know how to feed yourself? You are the worst businessman I've ever met. How did you get to the point of even having those clothes? Or that bag? Or, you know, the ability to breathe still.
The sorceress has asked me to guard Sheila the kangaroo. I suppose if you had a bit more money, I'd be willing to let her escape. Then you could keep her for a pet or something.
Actually, we don't allow that anymore. You're a bit behind the times, mate. But yeah, so there's about a dozen
Yo, Spyro!
egg
I
animations.
just found one of those portal thingamajigs that leads to a different world. But you'll have to
Couple
glide to
more
get across to it.
models.
Press the jump button, then press jump again while you're in the air to glide. Just follow me.
So that's a shame. Would have been really cool. Then we get this tutorial again.
I saw something shiny in that cave over there. Let's go check it out. You can get there by hovering. To hover, just press the action button.
Yeah. This isn't my first Spyro rodeo.
Oh, I almost forgot. I found this egg.
You almost forgot the very reason we are here. God damn it, Hunter, you're retarded.
This is
So much for the Superfly power-up. Everything in this cave is on the ground. Seems like a design oversight. The only reason you'd need... The purpose of coming into the cave is to get the gems, and be tutorialized a bit, obviously. So the only reason to use the power-up is to get out of the cave. That you go into the cave solely for the reason of tutorializing. And then there's gems just in there, because obviously they have to be. Looks nice though. I think 3 is generally speaking the nicest looking of all of them. Which again is funny considering they ran out of time with this game. But I guess they had the best basis to go on, I assume, in the original games. That the third one would probably be the best looking. If for no other reason than experience. Seeing this nice. Alright, what do you want?
Do you like
Say
the
your piece.
active camera mode?
Yeah, it's
not,
fine.
Okay, I won't change it.
I honestly don't know what the passive camera mode does, but I don't think it's good. Now I have all my skills, don't I? Yep. So one thing I was going to talk about. Okay, Spyro, that was a neat little trick you did there. That was some extreme moonwalking. Because I wasn't even walking, it was just sliding into those egg DMs. I don't know.
I see an egg at the bottom of this lake. I would go get it, but I don't.
Yeah. So the backtracking into was probably the most annoying quality of it.
And the portal to my home just stopped working. Maybe the portal will reactivate after a few more dragons hatch.
Why would that matter? There never used to be dragons in this world. Why would increasing the number of dragons in this world now open a door that already used to be whatever. But the backtracking in the last game was tied to learning some very basic skills. Yep, that's for later. It was tied to some very basic skills of swimming and head bashes and climbing ladders. I hate how there's only one angle of approach for the Yags. And it would always be given in the hub world following the one that introduced the mechanic. So you'd be forced to complete one hub world as much as possible, go to the next one to learn the skill, to go back to the one you just almost completed to actually complete it. And it was pretty annoying because all those areas where the skill was necessary were all sort of integrated into the main path of the world. It wasn't like separate areas that you'll find is how they work it in this game. So it was really annoying that you couldn't go into a world and 100% it, or at least as 100% it as far as one sort of mechanical perspective goes. And you'll see what I mean later. But in this world, this game, while there is still backtracking, it's handled a lot better. For some reasons that I just sort of outlined, but like I said, we'll see all about that soon enough.
There I was, about to go for a nice swim at Shell Beach, when my portal just up and disappears right in front of me. If you go find some more of those dragon eggs, I bet this portal would start working again.
So what would happen if the eggs had never been stolen? Would you have just been stuck outside here forever? God, you're lucky, aren't you? Ah, they even have a nice little effect for the leaves falling. Yeah, with the last game, the worlds were based on seasons, and you'd think they were doing the same thing here as well. But no, it's based on times of day, which is even cooler. Alright, I have enough to do a random roll in front of him.
This pesky animal must have been causing a lot of trouble for that poor sorceress. I suppose I could accidentally let the kangaroo escape. If you were to pay me, say, A small fee? Ah, Spyro, I love your sweet naivete. Your kind-hearted nature might be your downfall someday, but for the time being...
Didn't you have to abandon your own world because you went bankrupt?
I hope you appreciate this favor I'm doing in letting you out.
That's good of you, mate. No hard feelings, eh?
Right. After all, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. I reckon you be one of them dragons then.
Yeah, name's Spyro.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know? Then all of a sudden you left. Poof!
Dragons used to live here?
Didn't you know? They say it was over 1,000 years ago, I think.
And they just left?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, after they left, all the magic in the world just sort of went with them. I mean, they say this world used to have magic coming out of the wazoo. Flying ships, singing forests, wishing stones, you name it. But when the dragons left, it all just dried up.
Is that why some of the portals don't work?
Yeah, they're starting to fade out too, one by one. Well, I gotta get back home and do some damage control. Come visit anytime you like.
So it just takes 1,000 years for a portal to decay. That is good timing. Also, you said, hey, you don't know that there's... I mean, she assumed that Spyro didn't know that dragons used to live here, even though he was a dragon. And then still acts surprised when he said he didn't know that dragons lived here. That was an awkward conversation. But that is one of the side characters. When I said mechanical perspective, what I mean is you actually play as Sheila and a couple of other characters, and that's how they manage backtracking in this game. And we'll see that when we get there. And they got rid of the cutscenes, which does not bother me, really. Bothers other people for some reason, but... I never thought the cutscenes were that good anyway.
Oh my, can you help us? Hordes of ferocious rhinox have overrun our town and kidnapped the mayor.
So much for expertly trained armies. Not that I ever believed the bunny bitch. Even this first world looks so much nicer than Glimmer, first world of the last game. It's a much better intro to try and win over an audience. I mean, it's just so much cooler. Rather than starting off this amazing adventure in a...
This Rhinoc is too big to charge. You'll have to blame him.
Yes, I know. This is the third game in which I'll be practicing that exact mechanic. But rather than the first game, which starts you off in a, while colourful, kind of weird theme going on there because it's a gem mine, it starts you off in a otherwise dusky mine. This world starts you off in nice forests and very clean architectural provinces. Like, I wouldn't be sold on Glimmer as much as I would as an audience if I was if Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 were different games from different franchises. And the demo included the first world. You'd be going for this one. Not only because Glimmer immediately requires backtracking, and this one doesn't, so this one is mechanically more satisfying. Just except when you do stupid death like that. That wasn't particularly satisfying in my humble opinion. But not only is it more mechanically satisfying, but it just looks so much nicer. I have to burn all the trees again.
Are you a dragon? I can't believe your kind really exists.
Die, flower. Although frogs is a weird choice for this place. Maybe they should have kept with the weird implications that they love to do and made them like lion cubs or tiger cubs or something like that. Their health drops. Oh, there's also backtracking in this world too. But it doesn't exactly scream that you've... Like I said, it's not along the main path, it's this extra bonus world, sort of duct tape onto the main world. You can still 100%, like I called it, the Spyro mechanical perspective. And you'd go there and you'd see a sign saying, oh look, there's something extra to the world, rather than Glimmer, where you took 10 steps and immediately went, oh, you're too dumb, you don't have the skill. Yeah, I know how saving works. Yeah, you don't have the skill. There is no sense of completion to what you can achieve in this run. I guess they did want to include cutscenes into these worlds as well in this game, but I guess they decided not to. I don't remember anything like that happening in any following worlds. And it didn't really add much.
Thank you for rescuing our town. As mayor, I awarded you with one of our famous giant chicken eggs. I'm sorry. That was the ugliest chicken I've ever seen.
Also, I'll say that's the funniest joke in this game. And when you see that in your first world and you think there's going to be a nice punchline to the end of every world, but I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. Alright. Might as well get this started, because I have a lot to say about skateboarding in this game.
Arena that also makes for a pretty cool skate park. Care for a test of your boarding? I bet you can't catch all 15 lizards running around here. Just come back if you want some boarding tips from the master.
Alright. The skateboarding in Spyro 3. As soon as I can remember how to bloody do it, because they don't immediately give you any kind of tutorial. They stick tutorials all over this hub world and first world about shit you would have done in the previous games. But they introduce this new big mechanic like skateboarding, and the first thing he says is, well, if you do want to know how to do it, then come back. But we'll just assume you know this thing that you've never done before. Alright, let me just...
Having trouble? If you press the jump button at...
Okay.
Caught all the lizards yet?
And
Having
then...
trouble?
Okay, doesn't say anything more than that. But my official stance on the skateboarding in Spyro 3 is, at the very least, the Reignited trilogy. It sucks. Yeah, no, it's unnecessary for one thing. It doesn't really mesh into any of the other mechanics of the game. Also, it's incredibly glitchy. Like, ridiculously. It was not implemented with any kind of finesse. I know they were running out of time, but I mean, I would have been happy if they just cut the skateboarding if they really didn't have the time, rather than leave it in the glitchy mess that you'll no doubt come to witness. And it's poorly explained, like with the hunter tutorial nonsense that I just went through. And it doesn't make use of it, like I was saying, it doesn't make use of any of the core skills of a Spyro game. You know, I mean, you could call it platforming, but it's so minimally used and so oppositional to the regular platforming. I mean, obviously you've got constant momentum when you're doing this and got to do these weird tricks. And the closest thing you could call a trick or extra flourish to the platforming mechanics in the core Spyro experience is the hover, which was introduced in the second game. Also, tiny little bumps like that, which you might not even be able to see, they make a big difference. And also it's just annoying, generally. It's just generally kind of unfun. Especially later on, when it's more than just
Hey, that was great. While you were
riding
recording,
around,
I found this in a lizard burrow.
hitting lizards.
All right, if you can catch all the lizards before time expires without wiping out, I might be able to scrounge up another egg. It's not gonna be easy though. Go get him, Spyro.
And there's always some time aspect to it. And that's just a subjective thing. I don't like most timed mechanics in video games. Especially not in one as casual as Spyro. But I won't list that as an actual flaw of the game. Just something I personally don't like. thought I could get up there.
Ah, too bad.
Ah, you've got to do it in one shot.
Spyro.
This will be fun. Why are they like... Oh, because it's a... Right, it's a gladiator arena. Weirdly designed like a skate park. Like, what would these ramps serve in gladiatorial combat? You're gonna be doing sick tricks off your shield? Like some sort of wannabe Legolas from the second film? Because that's not how that actually works, believe it or not. That fantasy was a little inaccurate of real life. A little inconsistent or not representative, if you would believe it.
Whoa, that was sweet.
Yeah, it's also just not that fun.
Another egg in the lizard burrow.
Wasn't that satisfying?
You can go for the course record now if you want. Whenever you hop on a skateboard, a timer will start. Score as many points as you can until the timer expires or you wipe out. Good luck.
Now, the course record is actually about something that he hasn't taught you yet, which is tricks. So that's fucking retarded. I don't know why they feel the need to not do anything to teach you. And it doesn't say what the record actually is. Must be when you start the thing. So you probably have to ask him.
You can go for the course record now.
No. Okay. Well, yeah, you get points by doing tricks somehow. How do we do it? Well, that one's easy. I mean, you know, easy for normal people. Damn it. Ah, come on, I hadn't even touched that. And that one, the bush got him. The way of my sight. I swear it's not just because I'm bad at it that is the reason I don't like skateboarding. Although it doesn't help. But yeah, if you didn't know how to do that when you started this course record thing, you'd be forgiven because... Yeah, can't even fucking remember how to do the tricks on other ramps. I thought you had to hold E or something. Maybe it's... Hey, fucking... Give me a second to learn the thing they don't teach you. Or maybe it's just restricted until... But that makes no sense. Then why would they have all these ramps everywhere? If you couldn't do the tricks off them. How do you fucking... Alright. 3200. As soon as I can bloody figure out... Yeah. It's fucking weird. Thank God there are only about 3 or 4 instances where skateboarding are necessary in this game. And the first 2 are manageable, it's the last 2 that I can't stand. What is the button? You probably have to look it up yourself. Thanks, that's helpful. Skating. D. D? Fuck. It's not D, what are they? Well, that's... we're just gonna have to deal with doing this. It's not particularly fun after a while, but whatever. There we go, did it. Yeah, whatever. Oops. Sometimes you can just get spun around for no reason. The physics engine sort of just glitches out and decides to change your direction. Yeah, great. Okay. Well, that's the first instance of this game's worst quality down. It's practically smooth sailing from here. Now, am I missing? I haven't destroyed all their gardening. Oh, I haven't gone up there yet. Ah, isn't that a nice view? Okay, show off. Maybe just enjoy being a stupid kid for a little while, like everyone else. I wish I could be a stupid kid. Now I'm just a stupid adult. Alright. Alright, let's demonstrate this backtracking I'm talking about. So we had to leave 1 egg behind there. Because first we have to head into here.
Thanks again, Spyro. Now I have to find out what that nasty sorceress has done to my home while I was locked up.
Hiya, Sheila. While you were gone, a bunch of Rhinox kicked us out of our houses. It's okay, though. Bobby, Pete, and I are working on a clever plan to take them back.
You look weirdly happy about it, though. How high are you guys right now? Well, that answered it. Pretty high. The hell is this thing? What type of bird is that supposed to be? Doesn't look familiar at all. Yes, so we're playing as one of the side characters now. And if I stop to talk to them, we'd get the tutorial. There is one there, don't worry. It's not as bad as the skateboarding. In fact, the side characters are one of the more fun parts of this game. Most of the time. I should say. Most of the time. Just for variety's sake. Like, both the...
Home at last. Here, I was saving this to make an omelette, but I think you deserve it more.
More jokes about horrible, brutal murder. But both the Spyro minigames and the side character portions of the game, including their own minigames, are generally speaking much better than the second game. In terms of variety and just overall quality, so it's really a win-win here. These were a great addition to the game.
He knocked Billy clean through a wall. If you don't mind, we'll just hang out here while you give him a good kicking.
What am I kicking? This weird rock sack up here. The developers definitely knew what they were doing there. Can Sheila swim? Yes. Very slowly. I was only in there for a second and that was extremely painful. So why did they decide to mix like Australian and German culture for this world? It's a weird connection.
I need to get him back for the last time he butted me off the cliff.
I just gotta say, your horns are so sleek, so shiny, so dazzling. You wouldn't happen to be light bound by any chance, would you? Just in case you couldn't tell what I've been playing in my spare time recently.
Those Rhinox have taken over. There'll be no stopping them unless we can smash their huts. They're too big to smash with your kick attack, though. Try using your stomp attack to smash them instead. I'll confuse the Rhinox with taunts while you stomp their huts, okay? You remember how to stomp, don't you?
Yes, I've done it a couple times now. So why do the Rhinox live in mushroom houses? That seems kind of anti-thematic. Is that much of a German thing either? Where are they getting this idea from? I mean, I don't know, it could be, but don't particularly associate even German mythology with the idea of things living in mushrooms. I mean, Northern European still, yeah, maybe, but I don't know particularly about like when you say German mythology though, kind of mean like Norse, right? I don't know who took over what parts of Europe when.
Thanks for the help, Sheila. Oh, you can have this egg I found in my house.
So that bunny sorceress resorted to just leaving eggs in random people's houses to keep them away from people who would steal them. Mainly dragons, yes, but you wouldn't want one of these billy goats, you know, finding this rare, what is going on? Rare important object in their house because you put it there and then just assuming it's for them and using it in some way. Pause menu didn't fucking help with the skateboarding. Did I get everything? No, I missed it. Gem somewhere. That bunny dumb. More than one gem. Apparently I can't read either. Where have I left 20 quid? I need that 20 quid. I will say about Sheila, just generally trying, well, for the most part she controls fine, feels fine. After playing, like, you know, Spyro himself, Sheila does come off as feeling quite awkward. Momentum is kind of weird and the jumping's a little finicky. The timing isn't quite right. Ooh. I can assault them. Sweet. Ah, right there. Let me just quickly do another assault. Okay, Now that we've done Sheila's own world, we've unlocked her for every other world. She's got her own little bonus area in. So now, after this cutscene,
Look out, Hunter. It's the scary sorceress.
I've warned you already. This place isn't safe for small dragons and pussycats.
Huh? Thanks, but I think we can look after ourselves.
Try looking after this.
Come back when you finish witch school, okay? Say, is it just me, or is she kind of cute when she's angry?
there's an important plot thread there. There's some deep lore stuff. But now that we've done Sheila, we can come back here. Also, yeah, she may not have finished witch school, but she's basically an alumni of witch school. Do you guys forget your weapons? You're just holding a lunch. Expertly trained army, she says. Yes, now this is open.
Hey, Spyro. There are Rhinox everywhere. Maybe I can find some peace and quiet at the top of this tower.
Yeah, they always seem to be off trying to do their own thing, but end up helping you. Kinda like Spyro too.
I have lost my love. She's being guarded by evil Rhinox at the top of yonder tower. Can you rescue her for me?
Yeah, because every woman loves a man that goes out, hires another woman to go save them when they're kidnapped. Although what? Here's a good piece of design, because what Sheila lacks in sort of horizontal momentum, like Spyro has, she well and truly makes up for the vertical momentum and platforming that playing as Spyro always struggled with. So now they can build worlds like this with towers and lots of verticality and whatnot that I complained a lot about in the previous two games. And then make you play as Sheila, because then it really works. I know this is made to look like it's far away, but you can really tell that it's just like 20 meters away until that foggy, distant landscape. That is the closest far away I've ever seen. Yeah, it wasn't a smart plan, was it?
What? Marco sent you here. I've got a restraining order against him.
Thanks, I hate her. hate her already. Oh, that chewing sound is appropriately disgusting and annoying. Alright, cool. See what I mean? It doesn't really cause you to lose any satisfaction because you come in as Spyro and you can 100% Spyro's perspective using all your normal mechanics. And then the backtracking is solely delegated to bonus stuff. It is required for completion, but it's bonus in the sense that it's mechanically different and segregated from the rest of the... segregated from the main pathway. And if you have to do backtracking, that's how you do it. Not two's stupid system. This is another really cool world, actually. With equally stupid enemies. Spyro made fun of Bunny Chick for not finishing witch school. But you know, compared to these Rhinox, which apparently didn't finish kindergarten, apparently that was a little too hard for them. Do you have anything to say to me? Nope, cool. You know, the bunny's doing pretty well. Oh, now you have something to say to me. When I ram your ass. Then again, if someone did that to me, then I would have suddenly have something to say to them. Like, here's my address, let's meet up later.
If my wings were big and strong like yours, I could easily glide across here.
But you can, like, actually flap them, unlike Spyro, who just glides. Okay, whatever. Isn't it pretty? It's like playing Shadowlands already.
The metal armor those
If you still can't tell what game I've been playing in my spare time recently.
If you hold down the chalk,
Yes, we know this already. Again, this is a problem I had with 2. The tutorial comes after you've already had to deal with the situation. Like, I have a tutorialize through my doing, or have a tutorial before you have to do. But you don't tutorialize by doing and then add in this useless tutorial after you've already learned. there is something I do want to talk about in terms of WoW. That I've played the pre-patch a bit longer. And Stephanie's here to listen to my bullshit. Now, I love the new character customization options that they've added in this pre-patch. I have remade like all my characters. And there's a fucking lot of them. I'm sad to say that I'm disappointed that the character limit on a WoW account is 50. Seems like enough to most people, but you know, some of us find that insultingly low. But, you know, whatever, that's a whole other thing.
If it isn't my favorite dragon, the sorceress has put me in charge of guarding these
Speaking of
bellows.
whole other
However,
things,
I might look the other
what whole other
way
bear have you
if I
got
was
inside your stomach, fat ass?
counting gems.
I mean, that top button isn't even attached to your clothes. Did you see that? That was just floating around on top of the model.
Oh, yes. Precious, precious gems. Well then, Spyro, you may now use the bellows anytime you wish. Best of luck on your little egg hunt.
But my problem comes into play with some of the mixing of options.
Your longest
Yeah. Now, in most cases, it's just that sort of female models for elves and humans have been giving each other's hair models. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it seems a little lazy. Like if you're saying, writing all these new customization options, and what you really mean is you took one race's hair model and plastered it onto another race.
Oh, you activated the bellows. Maybe I can get the cloud generator working again.
Those are so phallic.
The Rhinox must have been using this thing to clog up the cloud generator.
Why? It's important to them. Like, the sorceress goes off on the bunny for being incompetent, but god damn, she still hires Rhinox, who are actively counterproductive to her plans. Oh god, the emoji.
Our sun has gone out.
The living
We
emoji.
can make a new one with our lava fusion cauldron and 3 sun seeds.
This was the Emoji Movie
Burning out before we can get
after
them in
the actual
pot.
Emoji Movie. This is the sequel to the Emoji Movie.
Step on this
Help the
switch to
burning
get fresh
sunny
sun seeds.
smile
Keep
emoji.
burning it until you get it into the pot.
Cook itself alive. Yeah, like I'm saying, that's... it's not really much of a complaint. I don't really care that much. Oh look, he died. Sorry, buddy. And the next point is fairly petty too, but a little more... there's a little more underpinning it. Excuse me. It's the skin colors that are now available. Now, there's a lot of faces that can only work with certain skin colors, which is strange, but whatever, that's not really my problem. My problem is particularly with one of the allied races, the Void Elves, which before these customizations were always a shade of like dark bluey purpley, pale. Things on that side of the spectrum that you could associate with a dark emo kind of people. But now they can have the exact same skin colors as blood elves. And you'd think to yourself, if you know what I'm talking about, that that's not really a big deal, and it isn't. But what it is, I mean, it's not like it doesn't make too much sense. Illyria is the first Void Elf we're ever introduced to, and she still has her original skin color. She just sort of gets the, what do they call it, the entropic embrace thing when she uses her void powers that all Void Elves get regardless of their skin color. But the rest of them have all been demonstrated to have the darker hues. To, you know, really drive home the point. Oh my god, mega emoji. I'm so glad I contributed to that.
Now that's what I call a sun. Here, you can have this last sun seed as a souvenir. Think it might be a dud, though.
Yeah, he died. You can have him back. But, what was this thing? Yeah, it starts to remove some distinction. And you can tell they did it because people just want to play, have always just wanted to, people who are like Alliance mains, they'll usually play on the Alliance side, since the Blood Elves are purely a Horde race, playable race. They just wanted to have a Blood Elf playable on the Alliance, which seems a weak reasoning to do, to add those customizations.
But these mischievous spirits are stopping our bells from ringing.
Like you remove some of the distinction between races, you know, some of the unique character traits that justify them being different races in the mechanics at all, but then you also blur the lines between the two factions. Because now, besides Pentarin, who was made to be neutral, you can also just play Blood Elves on either side. Which again, it's fairly petty, it's really not that big a deal, it doesn't actually bother me that much, but kind of weirded me out. I don't really care, but it was something to talk about for, how long was that? 20 minutes? That was successful. Little diversion for streaming a game for like the 6th time. Even though the mechanics really haven't changed that much since the very first week. Oh, I don't like that thing. That thing looks weird. Oh, that looks like so. That's.
It fell out of the belfry.
That cloud is weirdly uncanny valley. It's a human face, but it looks like it's just got some sort of bulbous disease underneath, like a white beard or something. Oh, look at that. Looks like when fat people have some of that skin that gets hard and scaly. And it's happening to the fucking sides of his cheeks. Ah, that's wrong. You're a dragon, Spyro. Did you seriously just take damage from a flame? Well, I guess people really are just born with it. Now, where's this island I've got to glide over to? Oh, I already did it somewhere. Oh, this is the island. That was good going, me.
At last, my portal is working again. Come visit me at the Tiki Log.
Okay. Glad I could help open that fucking door for you. Now we've been invited down to the pub.
Rhinox are running rampant around here, but I can't get anyone out of the Tiki Lodge long enough to do anything about it.
Well, you know, that's just sort of Darwinism. They won't leave the pub to defend themselves. Then they failed somewhere. Oh, thanks, mate. Didn't particularly feel like dealing with 2 balls today. Thanks for your help. I love the metal jacket things, sleeveless jackets that the little Rhinox had. Okay, what the fuck is this?
Sure to keep your friend Spark.
Yeah. The fuck is this thing? What the? This is like a paraplegic Mr. Krabs. And also a Pokemon. And also a huge funeral expense. You know, it might have worked better without the shield. And if that looked more like a knife than a actual sword. Just some of the old noggin thoughts.
Here, take this egg. They were giving them away at the Tiki Lodge last night.
And they just got hit. Well, that's weird, mate. Don't ever do that in front of me again. Well, they just got here. How were they giving them away last night? And I followed, like, right in 2 minutes after they left. didn't think I had to come this way. I think there was actually a shortcut back there, but whatever. Shortcuts are for people with jobs. Yeah. Also, as far as the obligatory fiery level, yeah, it's another playable character. As far as the obligatory fire level goes for Spyro games, this is also one of the prettier ones. I mean, at the very least, it definitely beats fucking what was it called? Magma Cone from Spyro 2. I think it beats Jacques from Spyro 1.
Spyro, you're just in time. I saw 2 egg thieves run through this door. Well, actually they paid me to guard their hideout, but that's irrelevant. I'll happily let you through the gate to chase them down for a small finder's fee.
That's a serious breach of contact, mate. Good contact. God damn it. That's a serious breach of contract, mate. No wonder you're fucking poor. You must be sued like every day.
Thank you, Spyro, and best of luck catching those dastardly egg thieves. Are you the dragon looking for all those eggs? Because I saw a shifty-looking character with one over there.
Have you seen any other dragons around? Don't even need to say the dragon looking for all those. You could just say, you know, fuck it. No, no. Were there 2 for... Oh yeah, but the other one's Sergeant Bird. Also, as far as fiery worlds go, this sort of minigame area, far better than Magma Cones, once again. This is supposed to be a supercharge pad. Maybe you have to catch the first one, then the supercharge activates? Bet I can't, really. I thought there was a supercharge around here. I mean, that's how you get this, isn't it? Supercharging into it. Damn it. So close. Alright, maybe you can do it. keep taking the shortest path as possible. Oh, come on. Cool, there we go. Fuck, that one was born with a bow on its head. Is that some kind of deformity?
There goes another one. He was really fast. Maybe if I activate the supercharge, you'll be able to catch him.
Yeah, that would have been helpful before. Fuck you. Look, I'm not ungrateful, but also, fuck you. Fuck. Went too fast. God damn it. Okay. Let him get ahead. Okay, there we go. Okay. Kermit. That's because that one's gonna commit suicide. Alright. I think the rest of it is Sergeant Bird. We'll find out later anyway.
Is working. I'll see you at the beach.
This beach Madden give me PTSD of the one in Spyro 2, the turtle one. Ugh. If there's a fucking chef here, a penguin chef, I am shooting up this beach. Oh no, I know this level. This one isn't great either.
While I was gone, my friends borrowed the Rhinox submarine. Then they took it for a joyride. And then they smashed it into a big pile of rocks. Oddly enough, the Rhinox failed to see the humor in their actions and stuffed my friends in the jail cell behind you.
They didn't just kill him? That's interesting. For a second I thought that rhino turned into his octopus. I was aiming right for him, and then suddenly, octopus. I hate suddenly octopus. That's how I lost my virginity. Really did not seem like I had the momentum for that one, but whatever. I guess the boards wouldn't have been that useful considering they were underwater. That's somewhat of a design flaw.
If you want a quick summary of your progress in a world, you can press...
Yes, okay, thank you. Would have learned, any player would have learned that by themselves by now. Is there anything? Catch the funky chicken. The funky chicken. Oh shit, that is bigger than I thought. Oh well, there's a huge design flaw in your plan here. That chicken better be raving or something. I can make him move his head. No, no, I don't like you. I don't take the fat children. Ooh, nice one, mate. And by nice one, I mean congratulations, you aimed at me and I walked into it, or swam into it. Why do sailors have so many metal barrels? What? Explosive metal barrels. I guess gunpowder for the cannons? I suppose. Hey, you a funky chicken? You were not the funky chicken. Just a boring, regular old ass chicken. Nothing special about you. Your only purpose being to die of third-degree burns at my hands, so that I may live on, and you may die. Congratulations! Yeah. I mean, that was the first thing Raptor teached us. I did the schools.
Oh, hi, Spyro. Some of my seal friends
Maybe
are
I
trying
do
to
need
take
a few
down
more
Rhinoc
teachings.
fortress. I'm about to go and lend a foot. I love the smell of singed Rhinoc in the morning.
That's really fucking weird, Sheila. And this is Spyro saying that. Okay, freak, go do you. Keep that shit away from Spyro.
Hi, Sheila. The Rhinocs have built a fortress on our beach, and we're going to blow it to smithereens.
Apparently she already knew about this, you don't need to explain it.
For us. We're lighting the bomb now, so just make sure to stomp all those turrets before the fuse runs out, okay?
Why don't you just not light the fuse until I've taken the turret? What? Okay, you're just starting it, okay. Okay, you stupid shits. With the inconsistency and how much breaks when you do the head bash move. It's so strange. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other one. Sometimes it gets a Rhinox, sometimes it doesn't.
Wow, I can't believe I survived that blast.
Me neither, mate.
Nice and safe in my pocket.
Yeah, by all rights you should be, like, two weird, unidentifiable parts of meat somewhere, and the rest of you scattered to the wind. Because of that weird act of domestic terrorism. Jared from Subway? Oh yeah, that looks like him. That is totally Jared from Subway. That's a shame. Okay, where was I? More underwater dragon action. Sweet. Dragon's natural habitat. By all the mythological standards. Is that the funky chicken? No. He just had some weird lighting going on. You were just about to get strangled by an octopus. Shaking you. Oh, that looked like a bit more than shaking meat. You might want to see. And that one just winked at me.
I forgot to tell you, one of the Rhinox had this egg in his lunchbox.
You might want to see a psychiatrist. Now, was that in the thing's lunchbox as a kind of clever way to hide it? Or is that just more Rhinox actively working against the sorcerer's intentions? I guess there's something I should speak on. Is that I gave Spyro 2 a lot of crap because people really liked Ripto as a villain, but I couldn't understand that because he was so incompetent as a villain. That he just sort of came off across as not a villain. That was the funky chicken? What defined that one as funky? He looked like all the others. Whatever.
Used to have a dragon egg for you, but instead I used it to test our ultra high-speed super fluidity tunnel. The good news is that it made it to the end of the tunnel without a scratch. The bad news is that there's no way to get it back out now. The tunnel is chock full of Rhinox and floating mines. The only way to retrieve that egg is to defeat every single Rhinox in the tunnel.
Well, why? You could just go past them and get it, and then just be stuck on the other end yourself, I suppose. But, you know, that's a whole other problem. This is a terrible plan, and you're terrible for even putting us in this situation. Okay. Shit. Yeah, I'm just learning the weird controls. And the camera's a bit funky in here. The camera is more funky than that chicken ever was. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you can't really prepare yourself for anything because you have no idea what's coming. And you move so awkwardly. Like, there is so much drag. You could barely move at all.
This egg has surprisingly
Alright.
good fluid dynamic characteristics. From now on, all of our submarines will
Well,
be
it is-
egg-shaped.
Well, yeah. Whatever. How did you manage that underwater? What the hell? That is physics at its most non-existent. What is going on with Spyro? Why does he keep... What is this? Why is he stuck swimming upwards even though I'm going forwards? What is this? Okay. Okay, Spyro 3. You do you, man. What was I saying? Oh yes, the sorceress. Well, for one thing, the sorceress is also more hateable than Ripto. If there's any quality you can give to Ripto, it was that he was hateable as a villain, you know. Feed the sharks up. Where is that? Oh, I hate this. The controls are even wonkier in this level. Or this minigame. But I could say the sorceress. No, never mind. Every time.
To a naval battle. Our speedboat versus his nuclear shark submarine. If we win, we'll get the dragon egg he's guarding. If we lose, we'll have to spend a month doing kitchen patrol. What do you say? Do you want to take on Bluto?
Raptor. Hello there, buddy. How you doing? Cheers for the follow.
Okay, good luck. Just remember, stay away from the sharp end.
Ah, and that was my plan. Impale myself on the sharp end. Yeah, these controls are real weird. They're so floaty and awkward. Alright, you've got to collect your ammunition. Oh, I can't decide whether it wants to use keyboard controls to aim or mouse. Oh, that didn't do a lot. Your shit. Need ammo. Where's the ammo? Oh, it looks like it's slowly fogging up. Isn't this so thrilling? Awkwardly driving a speedboat round in circles, waiting for ammo to magically surface from the bottom of the ocean so that you can be unable to aim and miss with all your shots. Alright, here we go. No, this one's mine. Well, I feel like that should have hit me, but whatever. Come on up, buddy. Oh, he's repairing it. God damn. No, I need that shit. Oh, thank God for that.
Wow, that's the first time Pluto has ever lost. You dragons must have a ton of talent. I hope this egg was worth all the trouble.
Yes, dragons are strangely adept at speedboat rape driving and missile firing. Yeah, I can't explain it either. What was I saying? The sorceress provides a somewhat more adequate villain. Like, she's still a family game villain. She's still, you know, incompetent, but she provides more of a challenge, like, even indirectly, than Ripto ever did. Because Ripto kind of just shows up in your face and then fails to take you down. Or one of his 2 minions fails to take you down. Or achieve anything at all, really. And then he's sent off in shame in some way. Every time. Except maybe once. Where he steals a gem from the incompetent heroes. But the sorceress has so far had a minion that's, if not had a great deal of success, had some minor successes, but also missing 1 gem. But also at the very least evaded capture. So already the sorceress, via more incompetent minions, has provided more of an antagonist, or an antagonistic force to Spyro than Ripto ever did in the entire game. And we haven't even really gotten into the plot of this game. Oh, if you could call it the plot. Oh, there it is. Alright, cool. And she is more... later. Still wanna do the speedway. And there is another level in this world, but you won't be able to do it until you finish the backtracking, I think. Also, the speedways in this game are much more interesting. Also, Sparks talks, and it's adorable. Alright, so there's... they also tell you the... straight up tell you the order this time. Yes, it's not the fastest way, but it is, yeah. So except for people who want to really go for high scores, they kind of just tell you how to beat these levels now. But there are three modes in every speedway now. There's this, which is, you should recognize as the same thing that was in the previous game speedways. There's also the Hunter minigames, which make a return from Spyro 2. But then they've also got an actual race game against some sort of animal. We've got to come in first place. And that's kind of the interesting one now. Wow, I'm doing really poorly at murdering the local butterfly population. fly by. They were so impressed with my flying. Didn't I kill them all? I think it must just be a few survivors and they're like trying to pay me off with an egg. Like, please don't kill us all. Your flying was so amazing. That's definitely why we're doing this. Race the butterflies. Here we go. Alright. Yeah, so it's a race. You start off in last place. You got 3 laps. You gotta follow. You gotta touch all 3. All the green rings. And you gotta use all these other boosts and stuff to your advantage. Because if you just follow the rings, whoever's in first will win. You can probably catch up the last few places, but you've got to use as many boosts as possible if you want to try and actually come in first. And the tracks get a little more complicated later on, and it's actually really fun. I think people had a problem with this for some reason, because it's a big change from the usual Speedway stuff, which is in here anyway, so I don't know why. But also it can be harder. I imagine it's harder on console. Or maybe... I don't know, would it be harder on console? I don't actually know what it feels like to do these on console. But on PC you can sort of get an advantage by using both keyboard turn and mouse turn to make extra tight turns. I wonder if you can... Surely, if you use both the analog sticks and on a console. Alright, last lap, gotta get this guy. Huh. It was actually a little too slow. I don't know what I did wrong. Alright, I'm already in third. Oh, come on. I was nowhere near that thing. Cheap. Am I missing a boost somewhere? I'm getting all of them. And other than that one stupid physics wig out, should be doing well. Should be doing better than this. Okay, I would have won that if it wasn't for the weird glitch there. Like, I swear, guys. Totally would have won it. It was all the physics' fault. Stupid physics. Always gotta make my racing so hard. I don't even like the whole point A to B bullshit of racing. I think it should just be point A to A. So screw physics, I'll race you by sitting on my couch all day. See, I just got nudged by the mushrooms I didn't touch again. Wasn't nearly as bad this time, but... Man, I should... Am I missing a boost? I feel like I should be getting this. There we go. There we go. I guess it was just designed to be a close race. I mean, they usually are. There we go. Eventually, yeah. Okay. Now we gotta find Hunter.
Of sheep and flying saucers just came out of nowhere and started blasting up the race course. Looks like I'll have to hop in my plane and teach him some manners.
Your plane versus a flying saucer? Yeah, I can't wait to watch this, mate.
Look out, sheep.
Yeah, go for it. Wow. See? Immediately died. Told you, Hunter. I say it was good to know you, but I'm not overly fond of lies. Oh, come on. Came out of nowhere.
Whoa, looks like look out.
Okay, it's a boost. Alright, where's this last guy hiding? There's no hiding in COD, mate. This is for the real men. Spyro 3, Call of Duty Spyro 3. Tater. Actually, no, I get that name now. No, we won't. We're done here. Don't put words in my mouth, Sparks. Otherwise, you'll be the next thing going in my mouth. Not in any kind of weird way, just in the usual, you know, nom-nom way. It's not weird at all. Alright. Other than the little bit of backtracking and the Sparks level, we're jiggy. Okay, camera, are you okay? What are you doing? I'm not touching the mouse or anything. That's just spinning of its own accord.
Carefully, you stupid girl. I'm only going to ask you one more time. Why haven't you disposed of that infernal dragon?
I've tried to scare him off, Your Highness, but he's just not afraid of anything.
Not afraid? Not afraid? Why have I been training you all these years? Use some magic! Here's a spell book. Whip up a monster and eliminate him!
Kill him?
I don't care what you do, you useless brat, as long as you get rid of him!
Okay, let's see what we got here. This ought to do it.
You can't keep me caged up in here forever. You there, get me out of here. This is unacceptable.
You, come here.
Oh my. What the devil?
Actually, I love those cutscenes that introduce new side characters and bosses. They actually do add a lot of character to just about everyone, actually.
When I heard the sorceress was planning to ambush you, I got here as fast as I could. No worries though. This wussy green toad will be no match for the two of us.
Well, then why did you just run away? Where are you going? The fatty can dodge. Oh, that's what you do? You just bonk him on the head at the very... after I've done all the hard work? Well, I've done all the heavy lifting, literally. What the hell? How do I get away from that? Oh, maybe I have to do what I did with Gulp. Ooh, that was close. God, he activates that immediately. Can't remember how to do this. Must have to lure him to the edge of something. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what you do. You can't turn. Ah, come on, he's right on the edge there. Fine. We do it the proper way. God, I hate playing games by the rules. No, you're coming up a little short there, buddy. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. We don't all then, you know, die a horrible, fiery death in lava, but immediately afterwards, but you know. That's what makes you special. Oh, buddy, yeah, you keep trying. It'll happen for you one day, I'm sure. Yeah, the bosses in this game are also a lot better than the previous games. They're properly tuned, not overly glitchy, unlike this weird camera. Seems to be having a panic attack. They're fun mechanically, you know, they're real solid. They're interesting designs. They're not like the first game, where they're just not bosses. And they're not like the second game, where they're just broken and annoying.
Okay, Dragon. You've managed to survive longer than I expected. But you haven't the slightest idea what sort of dangers lie ahead of you. I suggest you grab your cat friend and whatever eggs you found and hightail it back home while you still can. I'm telling you this for your own good, you know.
Nah. Still not really condoning the murder of a lot of children that you kidnapped from their home.
Ah, my good friend Spyro. The sorceress
Wow, that
goddess
bird is giving you the stank
her
eye.
letting off rockets in her fireworks factory, but I'm willing to release him into your custody, provided you pay his outstanding fines. Ha ha! What a sucker! That is, it's a far, far better thing you do today, Spyro, than you have ever done. And, well, so forth, etc. You get the idea.
Sergeant Bird, 90068. Awaiting orders, sir.
I think you'll have to find your commanding officer for that. Hey, what are those things?
These are the latest military hardware. DBX-9 rocket launchers, state-of-the-art.
So why didn't you use them to escape?
Because I have limited ammo, and I wanted to conserve it for this. Say, where'd you come from? I thought dragons had all been dead for 1,000 years or something.
Well, the rumors of our extinction were slightly exaggerated. We just wanted a little peace and quiet.
Well, if it's peace and quiet you want, you should stay clear of my homeworld for a bit. I reckon I'll be blowing up Rhinox for weeks. Cheerio!
But we're going to immediately do it so we can backtrack.
I have to train the hummingbirds. They must be.
Oh, Sergeant Bird's theme is so cool.
We're going to take on the sorceress.
Sir, the situation is this. Yesterday, at 1845 hours, the Rhinox invaded. We defended as best we could, sir. But without your leadership, we couldn't put up an effective resistance. By 1900 hours, the rest of the squad was captured, and the Rhinox had complete control of the base.
Now, Sergeant Bird's... That was, unnecessary but fucking cool. It's just about to say Sergeant Bird's controls are also a little awkward. And you might be able to tell why. But I was thinking more about momentum than the weird auto-targeting. But, you know, there's that too.
I recommend you take the enemy out with your rockets by pressing the attack button, sir.
Why did that? Okay.
the enemy rations. They won't march far on empty stomachs. So, the Rhinox have blocked the way out of this next cave with a security door, and I don't think you'll be able to blast your way through this one. I recommend you land on the weights and carry them to the pressure-sensitive security switches on either side of the door. When in position, press the charge button to drop the weight. Press the action button once to look down, and press it again to look up, sir.
Who's in charge here? Why are you giving me orders and explaining how to do things? Sorry about rocking you up in there with a military-grade explosive. Just wanted to test how resilient you were in captivity, mate. Is this bomb the gophers, yeah. Are you seriously using plunges against rocket-armed enemies? And plunges blown from dart blowers. Whoa boy. How did these people take over? Oh look, high-grade explosives. I sure do love these. So I can get rid of my mole problem. I don't even want to hear nothing about abuse of power or overkill. Sometimes you just gotta do what the heart wants. And the heart wants to disintegrate backyard pests with the stuff they use to destroy Hiroshima. And blows up in your face. Because you started a conversation. I think the worst part about Bird is that the camera gets stuck on the corners because it doesn't want you to look too far to the side. of where the character model is, and the character model turns very slowly. So you just kind of get, like I said, stuck. The camera gets stuck to the edges of your sort of
Mission accomplished. It's great
mouse. The range of movement. Or before it, rather. It's limited even further than the mouse's range of movement. It's clearly designed for a console. Analog stick. Because it's not one-to-one. And you can hide that with an analog stick. At least more so than you can with a mouse where you physically do the fine movement yourself. Come on, Sparks. Useless. Oh, you grab that from a mile away. They're not the fucking gem right next to you. I can see your priorities, Sparks. And I agree, but you know, it's not helpful right now. Skill point. Pest control. Rodent genocide. Probably a terrible person. Skill point. God, the camera. It's not made for tight places.
Before I was captured, I recovered this egg from the enemy, sir.
It really is quite awkward. Okay, where have I left a gem behind? A fiver. This stream is not sponsored by Fiverr, by the way, just in case. How much would a Fiverr sponsor be worth? Play the laugh track now. There you are. Alright, now we can go back and finish the first world. Have they got this shortcut still open? Old chum. Ah, thanks dear. I love how familiar you are with someone you just met.
They won't let me join the Tiki Lodge. Help me put them back together and I'll make you an honorary member.
Now there's a thing to gather them, yeah. Before you put them away. And all the rooms where they're hidden are nicely indicated by flaming turrets. Just some nice architectural, cultural awareness. Whatever culture this is supposed to be. It's like a mix of three. My weapon is too long ranged. I hate when that happens. It's always awkward trying to explain that one. Oh, that was fucking close. Did I get the swift point? I assembled them. Is there one more? Oh, there's one more. I assembled the heads of the Avengers. Probably misinterpreted my mission here. Impressively so. Well, I'm gonna have nightmares about that now, thanks. Skill point. Ugh. No, he just comes back to life. I don't like these people. For obvious reasons. That was close. I wonder if that guy would have stayed dead that time. Probably not.
Take this egg as a sign of your honorary membership to the lodge. Well, that's never happened before. I hope it's not a bad omen.
Alright. It's everything. Oh no. Is there something I'm missing? Seems to think there's a gem here. Is it caught on something? Or did it not spawn properly? I don't know what happens if I leave and come back. Yes, yes, I'm aware. Maybe it's back here. Or over here. New. Maybe I have to reset the entire level. Yeah, it seems to think it's over here. I can't open this or anything. Yeah, great. Let's leave and come back. Yeah, no worries, Reptile. Probably be ending it soon. See if I can get this glitch gem, and then there's one more thing I want to do. Shouldn't take too long, but then be ending it after that. I'm too cheap to get the bot. No, I've got air, just haven't got a lurk command yet. Yeah, there we go. Spawned. Isn't that nice? I love when my gems finally spawn. See, there's the bot. Doing now the only thing I've been bothered to set it to do so far. Oh, I love watching those numbers go up by a whole 2. That was beautiful. I feel so much richer.
Do you like the... Okay.
Okay, now that we've 100%ed this hub, should be able to do this.
Spyro, I found an egg, but only Sparks will be able to reach it. There's a small hole that leads to a crawdad farm.
Do you want to make
take him there if he's ready.
eye contact you? Elitist bitch? Okay. Fairies thinking they're above everyone just because they can hover above everyone.
Sparks, before you take on those nasty crawdads, I should give you some help. To start, let's practice.
I know how to do this.
You can also... Now for the hard part. On your travels, you'll notice butterflies that give you help, just like in the dragon world.
Ah, because I didn't use the...
You'll be able to deal with
Okay, maybe the tutorials are there for a reason. Didn't use the, I'm in, what would it be now? AEDT? Australian Eastern Daylight Time?
You'll be able to deal with...
Oh, I can't even kill one of them with the... without the, power-up, or I fail. That sucks. Right, we cool now? Fairy.
Looks like you're ready, Spot.
Alright. I'm not sure what the comparison to the GMT is. Is it like plus 10 or minus 10 or something like that? Well, hello, Todd. Cheers for the raid. That's what they're called. for those popping by, I am actually just about to finish as soon as I do this. This level real quick. But if you like Spyro, there'll be more of this good stuff next Wednesday at 3 o'clock PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time, as we just discovered. Oh, I love you too, bitch. You always say the nicest things when you pop by my stream. I'm so lucky to have you, Todd. Yeah, no worries. I'm just about to finish up anyway, so... See you later, Todd. Ooh, that one is satisfying. I like that one. Do it again. Ah, that's nice. That's real nice. It was less satisfying that time. Oh, but I got him on the rebound. Yeah, it still looks better when it's mowing down little enemies. That one really got me going. Man, I blew up that guy's claws. That must have stung like hell. And then blew up the rest of his claws. Imagine just minding your own business and a fucking dragonfly of all things comes into your home, kills all your friends, and blows off your hands. I mean, to me that's Tuesday, but I understand for normal people that doesn't happen a lot. I have some weird friends. Like Todd. I have no doubt he'd do that if he had the chance. The adventure continues, so it says, but the funny thing is that the adventure is actually ending for the moment.
Nice work, Sparks. You've beaten the Crawdad King and found the lost egg. Not only that, but some of the dragon magic seems to have rubbed off on you. Now you can pick up gems when they're even further away from Spyro.
Is that magic? That he bothers to go the extra mile? Okay. Call it. I call that laziness. But if you want to call it magic, sure, whatever. But that'll do that one. Like I said, Spyro continues next Wednesday at 3 PM till 5:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And I also stream on Sunday from 4 till 6:30, same time zone. Which I usually do something that's different. This time I think it's Hitman Blood Money. So if you like any of that shit, that's where you can find that shit. Well stated. See you later.